Greetings, YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about a twin blade carabiner from Gizmojo. Gadgets that work like magic. Well, I'm not sure if they really work like magic. What you get for your money, and I picked this up for I believe $7 at Radio Shack during the Christmas season. You get an OtterBox knockoff, which has an actual O-ring here all the way around. I haven't actually had a chance to test it to see how well it actually protects things. What I'll probably do is I'll probably put a piece of tissue paper in here, close it up, and then submerge it in my bathroom sink to see if it actually can keep out the water. But regardless of whether it is actually completely waterproof, it is going to be water resistant. And what's nice is this particular case fits perfectly in the lower pocket of the bag that I carry to carry around my wife's notebook and my books that I take to Starbucks. So it's relatively rigid, so I'm going to put this in that pack just as it is so that I can stick small items in here and not have to worry about them being crushed. This thing fits in perfectly. I mean, I could take this little hanger off here, but I might find a use for it, so I'm going to leave it there. And it's a protection for small items or crushable items, and I appreciate that. So what do we get here in the actual knife? I can get rid of that packaging now. I don't need it anymore. Here is the knife in question. It comes with a small ring, which I suppose allows you to hook it onto a keychain or something if you'd like to. And it is not a true carabiner at all. It is just a carabine-like device. It does have a functioning spring. And I mean, it's cute and all. I bought it to see how well they execute, because I've discovered to my pleasure that occasionally you can buy cheap things and they're of decent quality, and sometimes you don't get good things, sometimes you do. So you have a knife here, and it's not what you'd call really sharp, but it's small enough that it's not going to scare people if you put an edge on this thing, which is going to be useful, because you don't really, people get nervous around knives sometimes, folks. It's sad, but it's true. Then you have a saw. Now, I found this to be an interesting choice because, again, it's a small saw, but it has relatively decent teeth. They're not razor, they're not needle sharp or anything. I don't know how well it cuts wood, but I think a serrated edge would have been a better choice for like cutting boxes and things, because I found serrated edges are quite useful for cutting through cardboard. I use the one on my Swiss tool all the time for that purpose. But having a wood saw, I guess, could be useful. I gotta tell you though, I've never encountered a lot of need for a wood saw on my tools. In fact, it's probably the least used blade on my Swiss tool is my wood saw. I just don't cut wood very often. It just isn't something I need. However, the idea of a carabiner knife is cool. You clip it on something because it's heavier in this, and it's gonna hang like this on your pack or your bag or something. The idea of having a knife hanging there that you can just forget about, so that when you need a blade that you don't have your main blade with you, this is gonna be hanging there. That's a useful tool. I think it could have been a better execution. I don't know if I've encountered many carabiner knives that were of high quality. If somebody knows of one, please put it in the notes in the comment section below. That would be cool. But for me, the big winner here is I get to test the knife and see if I like it or not. But I end up with a case that I can use for other things, and that so it isn't wasted money in my book. I get to take a look at a knife. I get a new case that I can use to carry soft and crushable items. So to me, that's a win. So if anybody out there knows of a good carabiner knife, pass it along.